If you've had constipation for a while, you've probably already tried fiber, and not casually either. You actually tried to make it work. You changed what you were eating, added supplements, stuck with it longer than you wanted to, and kept thinking, maybe I just haven't done enough yet. And if you're here, I'm guessing it either didn't help much, or it helped a little at first and then started making things worse in a way no one really warned you about. More bloating, more pressure, more stuck. If that's you, you're not imagining it. In this video, I'm going to do 3 things. I'll show you why fiber helps some people and quietly wrecks others. I'll give you a 2-minute test to figure out which group you're in. And then I'll give you a simple fiber protocol you can actually follow. How to stabilize first, reintroduce fiber safely, and know when it's time to stop forcing it, and talk to a doctor differently. Most people I talk to about this aren't confused. They did what they were told. The problem is, fiber doesn't behave the same way in every gut, and almost nobody explains that part. I've been through it myself. I remember thinking I was doing everything right, and then realizing something wasn't adding up. Welcome to the Gutsphere channel. We help people who've been stuck in this cycle for years, trying the right things, getting frustrated, and still not feeling better, by turning the chaos into something calmer, patterns, fit, and a plan. All right, let's make fiber make sense. The easiest way to think about constipation is like traffic. When things are moving, adding a little more doesn't cause much trouble. But when everything's already backed up, adding more on top of it doesn't fix the jam. It just creates more pressure. That's basically what fiber is for a lot of people. Fiber adds bulk. That's not controversial. That's literally the job. The part that gets missed is bulk only helps if the system can actually move and empty. So if you add fiber to a system that's already slow, stuck, or not emptying properly, you're not adding health. You're adding cargo to a traffic jam. Now here's the model that tells you where the jam is. The 3 bottleneck model. Most constipation falls into one of 3 bottlenecks. Sometimes it's more than one, but usually one dominates. Bottleneck number 1, the stool itself. Too dry, too hard, too sticky. The material doesn't move easily. Bottleneck number 2, the movement. The conveyor belt is slow. Things sit longer, water gets pulled out, gas builds. You feel bloated, but you still don't go. Bottleneck number 3, the exit. The stool may be right there, but the exit isn't coordinating. Pelvic floor and sphincter don't relax properly. You sit forever, strain, and still feel incomplete. And here's the sentence that makes fiber stop feeling confusing. Fiber is cargo. If your problem is mostly stool texture, the right fiber can help. If your problem is slow movement, more cargo can become more gas and distension before it helps. And for some people, it never helps. If your problem is the exit, more cargo often backfires because you're adding volume behind a door that isn't opening. Now let's classify yours quickly. The 2-minute fiber fit test. Don't overthink this. Just answer based on real life. Question 1. When you increase fiber, what happens in the next 72 hours? Output improves, you feel better. Fiber might be useful. Nothing changes? Fiber might not be the limiting factor. You get worse. More bloating, pressure, cramps, stuck feeling. You're the cohort this video is for. Question 2. Do you feel blocked at the exit? Blocked looks like long sits, heavy straining, incomplete emptying. Stool feels there but won't come out, needing tricks or extreme positioning. If that's you, and fiber makes you worse, odds are fiber isn't the main problem. Question 3. Are you more slow and quiet? Long gaps, low urge, upstream heaviness, and fiber makes you feel like a balloon. That's often a transit issue. And here's the unfairly revealing clue. If your stool is soft but still hard to evacuate, stop blaming diet for a second. That points strongly to mechanics. So you're now in one of 3 buckets: fiber-friendly, fiber-neutral, or fiber worsens. If your fiber worsens, the next step is not find the perfect fiber. It's to stop escalating, stabilize the system, and then reintroduce fiber like an experiment. Before the protocol, there's one myth we have to kill. The myth is more fiber is always better. This is how people get trapped. They increase fiber, it doesn't work, so they add more. Then they stack supplements. Then they add raw salads. Then prebiotics. Then some cleanse. And when their bloating explodes, they assume they're the problem. No, they're running an uncontrolled experiment. Fiber can help, but not when it's mismatched to the bottleneck and not when it's escalated blindly. Now, when people get burned, they swing into extremes. you'll see two tribes online. One says, fiber is the enemy. Go zero fiber. The other says, no, look at traditional diets. Hunter-gatherers eat huge fiber, 100 grams. That's the goal. Both sides miss the same thing. They're copying a number, not a system. If you're already backed up and distended, lowering fiber can reduce load and pressure. That can feel like relief. But sometimes that's not cure. It's just decompressing a jam. On the other side, high-fiber lifestyles often come with high capacity, movement, different food structure, circadian rhythm, lifelong patterns. You can't copy the number without building the capacity. So here's the nuance that matters. We absolutely care about optimal health. But if fiber worsens you right now, the goal isn't forcing 50 or 100 grams. The goal is earning your way up without suffering. Which brings us to the 4 fiber numbers people keep reacting to. A lot of people are living around 10 to 15 grams a day. Doctors often point towards something like 28 to 35 grams, depending on the person. Functional to optimal circles may talk about 50, 60 grams as aspirational. And then you'll hear 100 plus in traditional diet comparisons. Those are population conversations. Your body needs a personal plan. If your system is jammed, chasing an optimal number can be like trying to squat 400 pounds because you saw someone else do it. So instead of arguing with numbers, we do the only thing that works. Stabilize first, then experiment. That's the fiber protocol. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. This is the way to stop guessing. Step 0, quick safety gate. If you have severe worsening abdominal pain, vomiting, inability to pass gas, significant bleeding, unexplained weight loss, anemia, or a sudden major change in bowel habits, don't run home experiments. Get evaluated. Step 1, track just 3 things for 10-14 days. You're not tracking your whole life. Just 3 outcomes. Output, how often, and does it feel complete? Effort, straining time on toilet. Pressure, bloating, abdominal pressure. These 3 tell you if you're getting better or just getting bigger. Step 2, name your dominant bottleneck. Dry hard, slow quiet, or exit block. If you're exit block, fiber is rarely the first lever. That matters. Step 3, stabilize first if fiber worsens you. For 7 to 14 days, stop escalating fiber. Reduce the roughest triggers. Keep meals boring and consistent. Your goal is simple. Lower pressure and get predictable evacuation back. This is not anti-fiber. This is stop adding cargo to a jam. Step 4, build capacity before you add load. This part is why fiber protocols fail when people skip it. Capacity looks like stool hydration support, so stool is easier to pass. Routine cues, consistent wake time, meal cue, bathroom window, exit block support, positioning, relaxing, and no endless straining. Movement cues, walking after meals if you can. If you don't build capacity, fiber just becomes extra cargo. Step 5, reintroduce fiber 1 variable at a time. Pick 1 lever, 1 consistent food-based fiber change, or 1 supplement type. Not 2, not 4, 1. Run it for 3-7 days with everything else stable. Step 6, titrate slowly. If pressure rises and output doesn't improve, revert to the last tolerated level. If output improves and pressure stays calm, increase gradually. If you're unsure, hold steady longer. Speed is how people get punished. Step 7, stop rules. Stop increasing fiber if pressure spikes and stays up for 48 hours. Stuck feeling worsens. Hemorrhoid, fissure pain worsens. Most important stop rule. If stool is soft but still hard to evacuate, stop chasing fiber. Treat outlet mechanics as your bottleneck until proven otherwise. Step 8, use the result as diagnostic information. If you ran the protocol cleanly and fiber still backfires, that's not you failing. That's evidence. Which brings us to the doctor conversation. Here's the sentence that changes your appointment. I've tried increasing fiber, and it consistently worsens bloating and pressure without improving evacuation. I want to evaluate whether my main bottleneck is transit speed or outlet mechanics, and match treatment to subtype. Bring your 10-14 day summary, output, effort, pressure, and what you changed. If you're exit block, ask about pelvic floor coordination evaluation and therapy pathways. If you're slow and quiet, ask about transit evaluation and staged options. The goal is not another generic tip. The goal is a subtype-driven plan. When you zoom out, the pattern is usually simple. The problem isn't effort, it's fit. Fiber isn't a universal fix, and struggling with it doesn't mean your body's broken. Most of the time, it just means the advice didn't match your bottleneck. This is exactly the gap Gutsphere is meant to fill. Not telling you what to do in the abstract, helping you see what's actually happening in your body through a few simple metrics and turning that into a plan you can follow and a summary you can bring to your doctor. If this helped, comment fiber and I'll pin the protocol so you can screenshot it. And in the next episode, we're going to tackle the other fear that keeps people stuck for years: laxatives. Can you become dependent? What's myth versus real risk? And how to build a base plan, rescue plan, and taper strategy without relapse. Thanks for watching. Take it slow, make it measurable, and I'll see you in the next one.